Hey everyone, welcome back once again in my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to discuss very important topics. Most of the interview, this topic asked by the interviewer. Without this topic, we can't complete our interview. So guys, this is very important topics. So it may be your fresher or your experience. In both the case, these topics what came into picture once interviewer asks the question related to this topic. So guys, this topics is spring security. So without security, we can't imagine our application as well. So each and every application, definitely we are going to implement what? Security concept. That's why guys, we thought this topic is very important and bring this video in front of you. So you will get more benefited while you are going to give any interview or even in your project level. Suppose if you get a chance to work with Spring Security, so you can implement this concept very what? Confidently. Correct? So let's get start. So guys, today we are here what? To talk about Spring Boot security. How security we are going to implement in our application. So that means how to secure our application by using a Spring Boot. Because whatever today we are going to discuss, this all about what? Using a Spring Boot only. We're going to implement a Spring security with a Spring Boot. Okay. So we are going to learn with this video what? A Spring security. So guys, main agenda of the video. Okay. So what? Main agenda of the video is what? If we attend any interview as a Java developer, so nowadays guys, they are asking frequently the question on the Spring Boot. And this is also what topics we are going to discuss today, that is Spring Boot security only. With the help of Spring Boot, we are going to implement Spring security. Okay. So Spring Boot because a mandatory skill for every Java developer as of moment guys. So Spring Boot becomes a mandatory skills for every Java developer. And when we what? When you attend the interview as a Spring Boot developer, microservice developer, or what? A Java developer. What are the common questions related to security? So what are the common questions there? What are the common interview questions that are going to ask in every interview guys? So first question guys, might you have faced such type of question in your interview if you have attended any interview earlier. So the question is first, right? So how can you implement security in your web application? Right? In your application, how did you implement? Right? This question. So that there won't be any security breach glitch in your application. Right? So how you will implement security for your application? That is a very common question, guys. Yes or no? Completely yes, right? Second question they may ask, how you are storing password in your application? So user going to what? So user are going to register in your application. They will use email ID and password, right? So how you are managing the password in your application? How you are encoding and decoding the password in your application? As per what? Industry standard. Tell me guys, yes or no? Correct? So guys, so means what? How to manage the password in your application? There are also very important question asked by the interview. How you are going to manage the password in your application? Correct? So do you think password is stored as it is in the database like what? XYZ at the rate of 123? Do you think password is stored directly in the database? No guys, completely no. We need to perform some operation before storing the password into the respective DB. Correct? So how you will perform operation on the password in the real-time application? It also very important question, guys. This question asked by the most of the interviewer in the interview room. So we should know this answer as well. So what is the encoding and decoding techniques that are going to use in your project? What is the encoding and decoding techniques that are going to use in your project? Correct, guys? I hope you are getting right. So another question, they are going to ask what? How to maintain user level security? What? How to maintain user level security based on their roles and grant associated to them. Yes or no? Role based, right? So how to maintain user level security, guys? So based on their roles and grant associated to them. Can every user access every functionality in your application? Or based on the role, people are going to access the application functionality? Yes or no, guys? So guys, please concentrate. What I'm going to explain is very important. Okay, if you concentrate end to end video, guys, from starting to last, so most of the things you'll clear perfectly. Got it? So how you're going to role based security you're going to use in your application. So guys, these are the questions they may ask. So each and everything we'll discuss in entire video. Okay, so how you will manage user in your application, and how you will manage user role in your application, and how can you implement mechanism, and how can you implement implementation mechanism so under can log in only once and start using what? My application. Suppose guys, I want to support any one user can log in one time. Okay, that means with your credential only one user can access the application. For example, guys, see, suppose in your Facebook, guys, in your Facebook credential, can people log in into your Facebook account on multiple system? Tell me yes or no. Yes, they can do that, because suppose if your Facebook, if you know your credential, username, password, so multiple user can access your application, right? Using Gmail, guys, using Gmail credential, can multiple people log in your application? Yes, they can do that, because if I know your username and password, definitely I can do what? Access your application. Just like Amazon Prime, guys, Hotstar, Netflix, all these applications. Correct? So guys, if I know your credential, I can access the application, or you can also access as well at a time, at a same time. But I don't want do that, guys. But I don't want do that. I want what? To access only one user to log in my application. Only one user has to access the application with the credentials. I hope you got my point, right? So how you implement multiple login for your application, guys? So how you implement multiple login for your application? So what is the fine grained security? This may different questions are there. What is the fine grained security techniques you are following in your application? What is the CSRF attack and cross restriction, and how you are going to overcome with all what in application? How you are overcome them in your application? What? CSRF attacks and cross restriction. Yes or no? And other question we see, what is JWT? What is OAuth? Why we need to use JWT or OAuth to protect our web application, and how to use JWT and OAuth in our application. Yes or no, guys? So these all are the question only they may ask in the interview, and they may ask, guys, Another question, how to prevent security attack? Like what? Brute force, stealing of data, session fixation, problem in our application. How will you prevent security attacks in our application? How will you protect your application from all the attacks, just like brute force techniques? So these all are guys very common question. Yes or no? The interviewer will ask and select the person because security is not a guys functional requirement. You should know this thing, guys. So security is not a functional requirement. Do you think that client will tell to implement the security in the project? Or it is developer responsibility, guys? It is only developer responsibility. Do you think any client will tell, please implement security in your project? No, guys. No at all. Do you think client will tell that? No. Or it is bare minimum requirement, guys. Or it is bare minimum requirement of every application. Correct? So guys, it is bare minimum requirement of every application or developer responsibility. Or it is developer responsibility to implement security techniques in your application. So decide, right, whether a person is genuine or fake. Whether a person is genuine or fake. Can we ask some question related to security like this? What? So you will come to know this person is genuinely, they have worked really in the project. So what type of the question? If you ask and you come to know. So guys, it's a very common question. Means what? How to implement security in your application? If you ask this question to anyone, if they will give answer perfectly, definitely you will come to know, yes, this guy worked what? In real time. How will you manage password in the application? This question also you may ask. How will you provide user level security? How will you manage user and roles in your application? How will you implement multiple login in your application? What is the fine-grained security techniques you are using in your application? What is CSRF? What is cost restriction? How will you protect your application from CSRF attacks and cost restriction? And what is the JWT and OAuth? Why you use JWT and OAuth in your application? And how to prevent security attacks from our application? So guys, that is a very common requirement that we need to do in our application, right? In most of the project. Yes or no, guys? And there are very minimum requirement for every application, guys, and every developer should know the security techniques that we need to implement in our application. So guys, I hope you people got clear picture what I have explained till now. Correct? So now, once if you people concentrate, guys, or be focused in this entire video from starting to end, that is end to end, guys, you will be able to answer all these questions very confidently to the interviewer. Or if you're not going to give any interview, for knowledge sake, once you're going to get a chance to work with security project, so you can implement this concept very easily, guys, very confidently. So once if you people watch completely the video, guys, from end to end, then you will what? In the position to answer all the question what they are going to ask. Are you guys clear with this? I hope you clear all these things as of now what I have discussed. I told that, guys, why you need watch this video. Already I have told. Yes, I told that why you need watch this video. If you watch this video very what concentrately, guys, so you could give all the answer very effectively. Correct? Very effectively, guys. So the interview, right, what they are going to ask in the interview room. So I am going to show some agenda, right? So for this video I have some agenda. Okay, so already I mentioned, right, this complete video belongs to what? A Spring Boot security. Correct? So guys, see, first already I mentioned in second slide. See, common interview question. So what the question asked by the interviewer frequently in the interview. So all these questions I mentioned here. How do you implement security in your application? How do you manage password in your application? How will you provide user level security? How will you manage user and roles in your application? How will you implement multiple login in your application? How we are encoding and decoding the password in your application with industry standard guide? What is the fine-grained security techniques we are using in your application? What is CSRF attacks and cross restriction? How will you protect your application from CSRF and cross restriction as well, guys? And next question, what is the JWT and OAuth 2 and why to use in your application? How Spring security execution flow work internally, guys? This is very important. Question number 11. This is very important. If you know this internal flow of Spring security, then most of the things you will what come to know very but perfectly, very confidently. If you know the question number 11, so this question number 11 is very important. So last question, difference between authentication and authorization. So if you know this concept as well, before implementing the security in your application, you should know first what is authentication and what is authorization. So with these two concepts, you can implement security in your project very what? Perfectly. Okay guys, so what I have mentioned, so these are the common question which is asked by the interviewer in interview room. Okay, so next slide guys. So what I have mentioned you agenda of Spring security in this video. So guys, first what I mentioned here, Spring security code. So first we are going to learn Spring security code component guide. So in this Spring security code component, we should know what is Spring security, why is Spring security come into our picture, what are those packages, interfaces, classes available in the Spring security. We will understand guys. Okay. And second topics are here, authentication and authorization. I have one slide as well. Where I mentioned difference between authentication and authorization. Yes or no? Because already I mentioned you, whenever we are talking about security, first we need to understand two concepts guys. What concept? Authentication and authorization. So we are going to discuss about what is authentication and what is authorization as well in coming slides. And third is guys, password management. This is also very important. Guys. Once you are going to authenticate any application, so you are going to give your username and password. So how it's going to validate, right? So how to manage the password in our application? What are the different strategy that Spring security provides when coming to password related things are there guys. Then next agenda guys, global method security. What? Global method security means guys, suppose implementing method level security guys using Spring security, that means role based access. I don't want all the methods accessed by all users. I want to provide method level security to my application guys. So how to write method level security guys? This is the global method security things we'll discuss in coming slide or in entire video guys. So guys, next is OAuth and CSRF course in JWT. So guys, so I hope so these all are the techniques by this we are going to use in our security, right? So I hope you people are clear with all this agenda, right? And next is a 6, right? So application implementation with or without security guys. So in this video I will explain with the code with and without security how our REST API is impacted. If you're going to use without security, how we are going to see the response, and if you're going to use this with security, how we are going to see our response. Yes or no? This is also point in our agenda. And last question guys, why security is important? What I mentioned, why security is important guys. So with this for this point, see guys, security doesn't means that means what? Why security is important? First I will give some basic idea. So guys, see, security doesn't means only losing the data or money, guys. So, but also the brand and trust from your users, which you have built over years, guys. Suppose if you are going to use or Gmail, so it's very authenticated, it's very more secure, because if you know your username password, only you are going to access. So you are more trust on the Gmail, right, guys? So example, guys, already mentioned you why we are using Gmail, because we all are trust on them due to it is securing, maintaining our data in very effectively. See, if you are going to send a mail to someone, so nobody will see your mail. It is more secure in very effectively way, guys. They have written lots of logic behind that. So that's why, guys, security is not only what protecting our data, it is also increasing our trust or brand value, guys. So that's why security is very very important for our application. Yes, no, guys. Correct. So guys, these all are the what our agenda for this entire spring security. Correct, guys. So what I mentioned till now, I hope till now you don't have any doubt. Correct, guys. So guys, one thing also I would like to add here. So what is security and why it needs in our application, guys? What is security and why it needs to our application, guys? See, guys, security is used for protecting our data. What? Security is used for protecting our data, right? And business logic inside our web application. Correct? String security is used for protecting our data and business logic inside our web application. Whenever, guys, we develop a web application, multiple people are going to access our web application, and our web application users data will be available, right? For example, if you take any e-commerce website like Flipkart, Amazon kind of application, they are maintaining your data, guys. They have to secure your data. So security is the bare minimum requirement for every application to protect the data and protect the business logic inside our application. Correct? So guys, security is a non-functional requirement. Already I mentioned what? Security is a non-functional requirement. Generally, we will develop a project, guys. Generally, we will develop a project as per client requirement. Yes or no? As per client requirement. Client will give functional requirement. Based on functional requirement, we need to develop the application. But do you think, guys, the client will give requirement that I need to secure my application? Do you consider security functional requirement or non-functional requirement? Guys, security is very very important, similar to the scalability, performance and availability. Correct, guys? So no client will specifically ask that we need to secure our application. It is bare minimum requirement for every application should perform well. Yes or no? So every application, guys, should scalable or more availability. Similarly, what? Every application should security as well in our application. So guys, so that's why we can say security is non-functional requirement. No one has tool to implement security. It is our responsibility as developer. When we develop any application, it is developer responsibility to implement security for the application, so that application data and application business logics will be secured within the application, so outside people cannot access that. Correct? Also, guys, one thing keep in mind, what? Security need from the dev phase only. Once you're going to start development in your project, from that point of time you need to start what? Security. Guys, whenever we are developing application, right, that entire application is what completed, then do we need to implement the security, or at the time of development only we need to consider security logic? Guys, no second thought, guys. Security should be considered right from the development only. What? Security should be considered right from the development phase only, guys, along with our business logic. Whenever we are writing the business logic, guys, at the same stage, means same time, we need to think about security logic as well. That means security should be implementing from development phase itself, guys, for our application. So don't think first need to complete all the functionality what given by the client. After completion, after completion will start the security. Not like that, guys. It should be written from development phase itself along with our business logic. I hope you are clear with these things, right? Correct, guys? So guys, this is all about what? Our SPN security basics. So these all the things we keep in mind, right? Okay, guys. So now moves in what? Next slide, that is what? Authentication versus authorization, guys. So guys, this thing we should know, right? Without knowing authentication and authorization, we can't start our security concept. That's why I have written in this slide this concept, authentication versus authorization, guys. See, guys, in authentication, I have written here definition. In authentication means what? The identity of the users. Identity means, guys, what's user a specific username and password. The identity of the users are checked for providing the access to the system. Means what? Authentication means verifying user credentials. Guys, see, if anyone asks this question, what is the authentication? So in very simple terms, you can say that authentication means verifying user credentials. Means what? What is your username? What is your password? If it is verifying, that means you are authenticated. You are authenticated. Correct? That means what? Verifying user credential. I have written authentication means verifying user credential in green color, right? So that's why you need to keep in mind. Second means, guys, what is authorization, guys? What is a authorization? So in authorization, persons or users, end users, authority are checked. Authority means, guys, your admin, your manager, whatever. Yes or no? Authorities. So person or users, authorities are checked for accessing the resources. Accessing resources means, guys, see, I mentioned in the green color. Authorization means whether this user is authorized to access this specific functionality or not. Means suppose if you are admin, suppose if anyone manager, so admin responsibility, they can access only admin related stuff. They are not going to access what? Manager authorities. So that means I mention here authority means whether this user is authorized to access the specific functionality, because manager functionalities are different. Yes or no? Admin functionalities are different. So as per your role, as per your authorities, only that specific functionality you are going to access. That is called the authorization. You are authorized to do some specific functionality. You are authorized to access some specific functionality. That's why it is called authorization. But authentication means what? Only they are going to verify you are valid user or not. This is your username or password. Is it correct or not? I hope you understood, guys. Second point, guys. Authentication done before authorization. See, guys, if you are going to use any bank application, suppose if you are a customer, okay, so first they will check you are valid user or not. You need to give your username and password. Once you will verify, only you are going to access as per your authority. You can check your balance, right? You're a customer, you can check your balance. How much balance in your account you have. How much balance you are going to transfer to one account to other account. This is the authority you have, your customer, right? You can transfer the amount, you can deposit the amount, you can check the balance. That is called the authorization guide. So that means what I mentioned here, second point. So authentication done before authorization. First you are going to enter in the respective application, then you can do some operation as per your role. So while authorization, see, always happen after authentication. You could see, right? So once you have done the authentication, only you can access your what? Access as per your what? Functionalities. So authorization always happen after authentication. I hope you got it right clearly. Third point, it needs usually your login details. Guys. Already I mentioned you. Once you're going to enter into your bank application, first you need to provide your login details. What is your username? What is your password? Once if you have given correct username and password, only you are going to authenticate. Otherwise, you will what? Not able to enter in respective application. But in authorization guide, it needs user privilege or roles. But in authorization, they will see which type of authority you have, which type of authority you are going to contain. So if you're admin, if you're a customer, if you're an employee, yes or no? So as per your role, you're going to what? Access your functionalities. That is the third point here. Fourth point, if authentication fails usually guys, we will get 401 error message. What? Authentication fails means you get 401 error message. But authorization guy fails usually you will get 403 error response. You see two type different error response as per your authentication and authorization. Question number, not question number, so the point number 5th guys. So for example, already I mentioned you, as a bank customer employee, in order to perform action in the application, we need to prove our identity. So you are customer, so what is your name and password? Then only you are going to enter into respective application. Yes or no? But in authorization guide, once logged in into application, as per our role or authority, we are going to decide what kind of functionalities, what kind of action we are going to perform. That will come with the help of authorization. So guys, these all 5 points very important. If you will read out or if you will what? Concentrate all these 5 points, so definitely your thought process and your imagination of the authorization, authentication authorization will be very clear. I hope you understood all these points. Sorry guys. So guys, that is the what? Our authorization and authentication. These 2 points are very important. So if you know these 2 concepts very well, so while you are going to implement security in your project, so what? It will very what? Understandable, right? Okay guys, so now our next slide is what? Spring security execution flow. So guys, before this I am going to what? So now first let me develop one simple application. Now first let me develop one simple application and we will understand how security working for that. Yes or no? That application. Okay. First we will implement a simple application. Then we are going to do other operation. Okay. So with this example we'll see, so with security or without security how it behaves. If you're going to use without security, how application behaves. If you're going to use with security, So what are things I need to configure? What are things we are going to manage? So with these two application, so first application I will code here without security. Then we will come to know if you are going to use security, so what are things will be happen. Correct? So for that purpose, guys, first let me start our STS. See, guys. So STS is ready, right? STS is ready. So guys, first we'll create what? First we'll create what? One application without security. So for that purpose, guys, what I'm going to do, please concentrate. So I will create one project. So guys, this, let me discuss one thing before starting this application. So guys, so we are going to create here what? A Spring Boot application, guys. What? A Spring Boot application. So this is the first application I'm using a Spring Boot with Spring Security, right? So guys, we need to know first how we are going to create a Spring Boot application. So I will bring a Spring Boot entire video in coming days. So for as of now, this I am going to explain in very simple way. Okay. So guys, with the Spring STS, so we have one options are there. See, so Spring starter projects are there, right? So with this, we can create a Spring Boot application. Okay. Otherwise, Spring.io are there. With that, we can go there. We can open. We can create the application. Then we can what? They will create one jar file, and that jar file we are going to import in our Eclipse ID or any ID. Okay, in that way. So as of now in our system, STS are there. So where options are there, we are going to create our Spring Boot application, guys. See, new are there. Guys, concentrate and listen very carefully in what I'm going to do and concentrate as well. See, Java project, Marin project, Spring Starter project. So we can click that Spring Starter project, right? See, guys. See very carefully. So guys, see, so this is the what? Name of the application. What name you are going to put? Suppose I am going to keep, this is a first project, guys, in Spring Boot security. So I'm giving 01 hyphen Spring Boot. What? I'm going to create, guys, one REST API, right? In REST API. So Spring Boot REST API, Spring Boot without security. What? Spring Boot without security REST API. This is our guy application name. So concentrate. First, what is name is coming. So I have given name of our application. What? First project is there. So first applications are there. Spring Boot without security. In this application, I am not going to use any security. But after this, I will show you. So if you are going to use security, how it looks like. Then you'll come to know, right? So guys, after that types, it's Maven project, right? So packaging, you are going to use a WAR file here. So versions are there 17. Okay. And language are guys Java. So our group name is I have given com.app.javamind. This is our architecture means project name, application name, and then this is our package name com.app.javamind. Okay, I hope you understood, right? So after guys, I have clicked next. See guys, I have clicked next. Okay. So guys, so after this, once I have clicked next, right? So what the interface is coming, guys. See, Spring Boot version is coming. So and choose here, guys, any dependency. Choose. I will choose here one dependency. That dependency name is guys Spring Wave Starter. What? Spring Wave Starter. See, Spring Wave Starter, guys. See, guys, what is the meaning of Spring Wave Starter, guys? See, it mentioning that build wave including RESTful application using Spring MVC uses what? Apache Tomcat as a default embedded container. What is guys? So if I'm going to use a Spring Web Starter, that means along with lots of things will come. So we're going to start what? RESTful application along with what? Apache Tomcat embedded container means server will come. Yes or no? So I have cleared this one. See, that means a Spring Web came. Yes or no? Then guys, we have what? Next options are there. Next. Then guys, we can finish. So with that guy, what? It will create one application. See what I have done. 01 Spring Boot without security REST API. Correct guy? I hope you understood. So what, after creating this, we'll see. So what I could see, project is created, and I have set a Spring Web Starter guys. I have what? Selected a Spring Web Starter. By using that, I can create a REST control guide. If I have choose what? A Spring Web Starter, that I can create a REST controller due to selected a Spring Web Starter guide. If I have selected what? A Spring Starter, right? A Spring Web Starter, right? Due to what? We are going to create REST controller. It will give Apache Tomcat embedded container as well. If I have what? Added that a Spring Web Starter, that's why we also getting what? One Apache Tomcat embedded container. Correct guys? So after that guys, now go to the pom.xml. See guys, see after creating this application, what? 01 Spring Boot without security REST API. See, we have one pom.xml. What? Pom.xml. Correct? 1 minute guys. See guys, so we can see here that what? A Spring Boot starter parents are there. Already I have told you this thing, right? So we have attached what? One dependency, a Spring Web Starter. So that's why it's a Spring Boot starter parents are there. So already I mentioned that is group ID and package guy. Yes or no? So guys, once you scroll down, see, then you can see this dependency we have added a Spring Boot starter web. That's we're going to what? Create REST controller. And also guys, see here Tomcat is coming or not. So guys, this is all the features coming if we added a Spring Starter, a Spring Web Starter, right? Along with it will come on test as well. Correct guys? I hope you understood, correct? Okay, now close it. No problem. See guys, so guys, what I mentioned, we can see right, parent starter is available, all the things is coming by default. We didn't done anything, right? Only we have added a Spring Web, right? Due to this, all things are coming. So represent this class guys. Okay, so now what we are going to do guys, now what we are going to do, so we will create what? One controller, right? We will create one package as a controller. See, one in this package guy, we have what? Main method, that is a Spring application.run method are there. Correct? I will also discuss this feature in coming video. As of now, we have created what? One Spring Boot application. Correct? Okay. So guys, we are going to create one controller package. Okay, we are going to create first one controller package. See, you know very well how you are going to create package. So come here, mention here controller. Correct? Controller. com.app.javamind.controller. Finish. See, so we can see one package already what? Created. Correct? In this controller package guy, we are going to get one class, right? So we can what? Come here and create one class. That class name guys, it's up to you. You can put in. Suppose I am giving what? Welcome 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 controller, welcome rest controller, right? You given the name of the welcome rest controller, guys. Okay, and finish. See, guys. So this class has created with the name of welcome rest controller, right? To represent this class as a rest controller, guys, to represent this class as a rest controller, we will use one famous annotation, that is what? At the rate of what? Rest controller. What? At the rate of rest controller. Right? At the rate of rest controller. See, guys. So this rest controller annotation coming, guys, org.springframework.web.bind annotation. Okay? So and also imported, right? So what I mentioned you, the same importation import is coming here. So what? To define this class as a rest controller, you need to use what? Annotation, that is at the rate of rest controller. Right? So guys, rest controller means, guys, what? It is distributed component. Rest controller means, guys, it is distributed component. So inside this rest controller, I am writing one method. That method bind to the HTTP request. I am writing inside rest controller what? One method. That method bind to HTTP request. Guys, concentrate. It's very, very easy. Okay, if you will concentrate, if you are more focused on the coding part. Okay. So what I mentioned, I am going to write one method inside this class. Okay. So that class name is, guide, suppose, so that method name is what? Public and return type suppose a string, public a string, and method name is get message. What is get message? Correct. So public string get message, I have written, right? Now guys, inside that, suppose if you are going to write, it is simply written, yeah, I am written here return type is string, so it is simply written a message, guys, simply written a message. So that's why I can mention here a string message equals to, it's up to you what you need to display. Suppose I am going to display welcome to in Java mind. Yes or no? Suppose I mention what? Message welcome to you what? In Java mind. Welcome to you all. You can mention here welcome to you all in Java mind. Okay? I hope you understood that till now. You should not have any issue, right? So guys, I am binding and you need to return, right? Return message, right? Okay? Return message. So guys, one thing, just keep in mind, I am binding this method to a GET request. I am binding this method to a GET request by using what? At the rate of GET mapping. Rate of GET mapping. See, this annotation also come in from what? Org Spring Framework Web Bind annotation. Correct? Okay. Understood, right? And inside this annotation, guy, I am what? Giving URL path like that. Suppose /welcome. /welcome. Correct? So with this, you can what? Hit our endpoint. Correct, guy? So this place, once again I'm going to explain. So what I have done, I have created one class. The class name is what? Welcome REST controller. So to define this class as a REST controller, we will use what? One annotation. The annotation is called what? REST controller. After that, guys, inside this REST controller, what? I have written what? One method. That method bind to HTTP request. Yes or no? that is get mapping guy. HTTP request means what? Get mapping. So what I've written the method, so I just added simple a method that is what? Get message. So I have written here string message equal to welcome to you all what in Java main, returning this message, right guys? So this till we are clear, right guys? In this application any security is there? Tell me. Till now we have used any security? I have created only simple REST API, one simple REST API application, right? Yes or no? So guys, now let's run this application, okay, and we'll see. After running this application, my application is what? Getting started or not. And guys, one thing also you should know, right? So by default, our Apache Tomcat embedded container is running on what? 8080 port. If we are going to use already some this 8080, you need to explicitly what? Change your port. But in first time I didn't configure with this port any application. That's why my default port is what? 8080. Yes or no? First let me run the application, right? Then we'll see. Yes or no guys? Then we'll see. So run as what? A Spring Boot application, right? Run as a Spring Boot application guys. See, application started. Application started. See guys, see 1 minute, let me see. Yeah, so guys, see, you can see very carefully here Tomcat started on port 8080. 8080 what I mentioned, initializing a Spring embedded application context and started application in this with this second. So what I understood, our application is started. What I have done implementation as of now, but what our intention is, we need to see what we have implemented, this response is coming as expected or not. Yes or no? What we have implemented, this thing. While going to hit this welcome, we need to see what? Welcome to you all in Java main. So that response we need to see. So for that purpose guys, what we can going to do, we are going to open any browser. We're going to open any browser. I have opened this browser guys. Okay? I have opened this browser, and this browser guide will add here, suppose this one, localhost welcome is there, right? So now after writing this, see, hitting here, see what it's showing, welcome to you all in Java main. Coming or guys, no, is coming or not guys? See, welcome to you all in Java main. So what I have implemented here guys, see, so localhost, the port is what? 8080 slash welcome, correct? This thing I mentioned or not? Localhost 8080 slash welcome. If you are going to hit this endpoint, what we could see here, we could see as our response. So welcome to you all in Java main. It's coming as per expected or not? Coming guys, it's coming as per expected. Guys, see, can anybody access my application now? Yes, anybody can access because there is no security guys. There is no security. Just we developed one simple REST API application. Anybody can access. So this guys, this is not a secured REST API. So guys, this is not a secured REST API. It is a normal REST API. Anybody can access. What? Anybody can access. So it is recommended REST API. It is implemented like that. In a scope of security, not at all guys. In a scope of security, if you are going to implement such a way, that means our Spring security will not be behaving anything, right? Because I didn't use anything guys. I have created only simple one REST application, REST API, right? So now guys, let me create one more REST API using security. What? Now let me create one more REST API guys using security. In this time we'll create security. Yes or no? Then we'll see how Spring security behaves. Right? This time we'll create same REST API guy, but we will use security. Okay, you will use security guide. Okay guys, so will come in our ID. So this thing I hope understood. Without security only we can access what? Our response. But not only. Everyone. Whatever the people came in our application, they can access. They have the endpoint. Localhost 8080 welcome. They can access. No any security is what? Enabled in this application. So now our main motto is what? So what our video is, what our discussion is about security. But without security, first we need to know how it's coming, right? So you have seen, right? So without security, how response is coming. But now what we are going to develop, what we are going to implement with security. If we are going to use security, then how our application behaves. Correct? So for that purpose, guys, we'll create what? One new more application. So come here, new Spring starter project guide. Correct? See, this time I have used what? 01. Now I am giving what? 02 Spring Boot what? With security. What? Spring Boot with security. Correct? 02 Spring Boot with security REST API. Correct? You can mention 2. Correct? Same thing guys, here nothing I have changed anything. Same what I already discussed. This is Maven project, Java version 17, var and Java, and whatever the group and artifact and our package. Everything is same. So now, but this is the important place. This is the important place where we are going to add some more what? Dependency. Some more dependency. With that, our application is what? Different from the first application. Okay. So already mentioned you, if you are going to get in a REST API, you should have any embedded server. Already mentioned here, your application REST API. If you are going to use what? Any default embedded container, we need to add this dependency. What? Spring Web Starter. I have added. And guys, second very important dependency which we are going to use in security, that is what? Spring security. That is the power of guys Spring security. See, in Spring security guys, what I can see here, highly customizable authentication and access control framework from Spring application. Guys, see, so already I mentioned you in the theoretical parts, when you're going to use what? Customizable authentication and access control means guys authorization. Customizable authentication means verifying identity guys. Authentication means we are going to verify identity of the user. And access control means guys we are going to authorize to access a specific functionalities to a specific user. That is guys access control. Access control is nothing but it is authorization. So highly customizable authentication and authorization framework for a Spring application. So in that moment we are going to use a Spring security. If you add this dependency, then it will show our real face. It will show our real character. What? A Spring security. I hope you understood guys. Once you will add this dependency, then you can see their real character in our application. Okay guys, you can see as well along with me after adding this dependency. Now guys, next and finish. See guys, second application also created. In that time, to Spring Boot with security. Already I mentioned you in the application we are going to use with Spring security. After adding one very important dependency, what? Spring security. How the character is behaving now. See, come here guys. First we'll start form.xml. Then you will come to know very easily what is the main thing what we have added here. See guys, this is application, this is a starter parent. Okay, and guys what I want to show you, see, that is the main thing guys. A Spring Boot starter security, that dependency guys will act everything in our application. This thing already we have added in last application as well. Starter web, Tomcat already we have added. This time already by default is coming, not we have added with the Spring starter web, but it's coming Tomcat. But starter security will added this application, right? So this is the things guys. Okay, now we'll jump in our application. Correct? So guys, already I mentioned, right? Already I mentioned what? Second application we have created, right? Second application we have already created, correct? So guys, in same way, first we are going to create what? One REST controller. Create one application with the name that already we have done. So guys, now we are going to create what? One REST controller. So for that purpose guys, we are going to get one package, right? Same way guys, what we have done earlier in first application. Package. So that guys, controller we have done, finish. With this we have done our controller. Correct? After guys, what we are going to do? Come here. Create one class guys. Yes or no? Come here. So class name what? Welcome REST controller. Right? We have done welcome REST controller. Right? Finish. So guys, with this we can see what? Controller is created. What? Controller is our welcome REST controller is created. Correct? Yes or no guys? So same thing guys, what I mentioned earlier in last application. So to reference this class is a REST controller. Reference this class as a REST controller. We will use one annotation, that is what? REST controller. Same guys, come here. REST controller coming or not? We have done. After that guys, we will create what? One method. That method is guys public string and get message. We have created. In that we are going to what? Return some string. So a string message equals to what? Welcome to all in what? Java mind. Yes or no? So I am going to return this message, right? So return message. So I have returned this method. And already I mentioned one thing, right? I am binding this method to get request by using what? One annotation, that is guys get mapping, right? Get mapping I have done. We are going to pass what? Endpoint URL, that suppose welcome are there, right? Welcome. So with this we have done our simple REST controller, right guys? I have done with simple REST controller. So guys, you know one thing, right? So whatever we have added one Spring security starter, right? Correct? In same way guys, in Spring security one module in Spring framework guys. Spring security is the what? One module in our Spring framework. Like guys, so how we have Spring core module, how we have Spring EOP module, how we have what? Spring DA module, how we have Spring Web MNC. Similarly, guys, security also one module in our Spring framework. So don't confuse what Spring security is, guys. Spring security is one module in our Spring framework that is highly customizable, guys. But you need to keep in mind or remember what that is a highly customizable authentication and authorization for a Spring application. If you're going to use what authentication and authorization related stuff, that means blindly we need to use what a Spring security module in our Spring framework. I hope you got it. Okay, guys, one point note down. So in order to implement, it's very important, guys. In order to implement security for our application, Spring provided one specific module which is called Spring security. Once again, I am repeating, guys. In order to implement security for our application, Spring provided one specific module which is called Spring security. That Spring security module supporting for authentication and authorization logic. We know very well, right, what is authentication and what is authorization. We have discussed earlier in what briefly, right? If we use this Spring security module, guys, we can implement authentication for our application and authorization as well for our application. I hope you got it. I hope you guys clear with this thing, right? Why I have selected two dependency, guys? First is the Spring Web and second is the Spring security, right? Okay, so guys, we have done this thing clearly, right? Yes or no? So now what we will do, we'll go in our main method application. See, come here. So in now we'll run the application. We'll see the response, how response is coming after adding one powerful dependency, that is Spring security. I hope you have seen, right? Time of what creating the application, we have added one dependency, Spring security. So after adding this Spring security, I have added what one REST controller as usual as last application. So now we'll run the application. We'll see what is going to impact with that dependency, right? So run as you can see here Spring Boot application. See, guys, you could see any difference in that, but I am saying, see, last time, guy, I didn't see any what using generated security password was there in first application where we didn't add any dependency related Spring security. I added only a Spring Web starter. That time what I didn't see any additional things, but after adding the what Spring security dependency, I could see here using generated security password is that one. As of now, just keep in mind, so password is generated on the console if you are going to use a Spring security dependency while going to create the application. Correct? I hope you understood. So guys, application is all started. Application is started. This one on the port, this one, this thing, you don't have any issue, right? So guys, now what I am going to do, I am coming here. I am coming here. And I'm coming here and writing here localhost, this thing, right? This is our localhost, 8080 our port, and welcome is our what? Get mapping endpoint, right? So now see, guys, you can see any difference in that, guys? You can see any difference in that. Earlier without security directly we are going to X our response, but as of now, guys, we are not saying direct response. Why? Because if you have added this Spring security dependency while creating the application, okay, so it will take care Spring Security by default. Guys, tell me, did I develop this login page? Guys, tell me, did I develop this login page? How it come? Whenever you add that this dependency, this login page will come automatically by default in your application. That means what you understood, what we have understood. So adding this dependency, our application is secured or not? After adding this dependency, our application is secured or not? Guys, please confirm. By just adding one dependency in pom.xml, that is the beauty of Spring Boot, guys. Guys, that is the beauty of Spring Boot. Now my REST API is secured. Now my REST API is secured. Did I configure username and password anywhere? Guys, please confirm. Did I configure username and password anywhere? No at all. Nowhere. Now this is default login page will be coming with Spring Security dependency. Guys, now this is default login page. It's coming with Spring Security dependency. Yes or no? So guys, now first let me log in here. So guys, please keep in mind, so by default your username will be user only. If you're going to add the Spring Security dependency and if you get such interface login page, so that time you need to enter username as a by default user. What? User. Good. So guys, what is the password? What is the password for this login? So guys, already I mentioned you while running the application. So guys, this is the password providing by Spring Security. This is the password providing by Spring Security. If you added this dependency, they will create by default one password, and the password you need to use while logging. Okay, I am giving here. So now guys, click here sign in. See guys, now you could see your response. Yes or no? You can see guys your response. Welcome to you all in Java Mind. So after adding guys dependency, you could see what? Login page. Once in the login page, if you're going to enter username and password, then what? Your response is populating as you expected. As per your expectation, right? Tell me guys, yes or no? As per your expectation. Correct? Yes or no guys? That is the beauty of Spring what? Security dependency. That is the beauty of Spring Security dependency. Guys, one thing I hear. So might be one question in your mind. See, if I am going to refresh, so every time guys, same response is coming. Coming or not? Yes or no? Yes. So if I access this URL in another tab guys, it is asking again to login. If guys, if I access this URL in another tab, it is asking again to login. Okay. So for the purpose guys, see I have one other browser, right? In that browser, right? I am going to hit our endpoint localhost colon 8080 / welcome. See guys, so if I was using in same browser, that is Chrome, so after giving same endpoint, it is giving same response. It is not asking login again. But when I have changed other browser, right? other browser, right? Then what I could see, again I need to what? Again I need to log in. Yes or no? Again we need to log in. So guys, so for every operation we log in your application. So only one time you are logging. Suppose if you log in, see, in this time guys, I am giving here user and password is guys same password what we have while running the application. See, then come here, put here and send. See guys, what response is coming? What response is coming? Welcome to you all in Java Mind. Yes or no? Guys, yes or no? So for this guy, so what you understood guy here? What we have understood here? So in same browser guy, in same browser, if you are going to hit same request multiple time, so response is coming, but same response is coming multiple time. It is not asking to re-log in again. But why guy? Session ID. Due to session ID, it is stored in the cookies. In the cookies, they will store their session ID. That's why it is not asking to re-log in. But in other browser, we don't have any session ID stored into cookies. That's why it will understood it's the new request. It is new request, and then it is giving what? New login page. After entering valid credential as per username and password, then it's going to what? Show our response. Correct? Yes or no? So guys, this is our what? This is our response. What I could see. Correct? Correct guys? That is our understanding guys. Correct guys? In other browsers guys, so what I have seen, so it is asking re-login. Yes or no? Re-login. And after giving the username and password, it will give what? Our response as per expected. So what I mentioned in the session ID is stored into the cookies. That's why it's not asking re-login. So if in other new browser, if you're going to do this thing, so it will see a new request. It's giving the what? New login page. After entering the username and password, it's giving the response. Correct guys? So guys, this thing also we can see on the Postman. Through the Postman, we can see how it is working. So how session ID is stored. How session ID is stored in the cookies. Okay. So what we could see here. So if in same browser, if you are going to trigger same request, response is coming same, right? So but this request, if you are going to trigger in different browser, that time it is asking re-login, right? So need to give the username and password, then it could be what? Give our response. Okay. So same thing guys, if you want to check in our Postman, right? So Postman is our API testing tool. So how in the Postman we are going to hit this endpoint and how we are going to see our response. So for that purpose guys, this I am opening what? Postman. So this Postman, so we can see here these all are the HTTP call, right? So get, post, put, patch, delete, hit options. As per our requirement, we are going to implement all the HTTP call, right? So as of now, our implementation belongs to our get API. Get mapping we have done in our REST implementation, right? So that's why this our endpoint is what? So HTTP, right? Colon, that is localhost, right? Localhost. Then what? Our port is what? 8080. Then we are going to hit our welcome, right? Welcome. Okay. So guys, this is our endpoint. So this needs to hit, right? So once I'm going to hit, see what response is coming here. See, response coming 401 unauthorized, right? Guys, see, status code is coming what? 401 unauthorized, correct? See, so already I mentioned you while we were discussing about authentication and authorization. So it is not able to what? Identify. So identification, right? Authentication is what, guy? So we are going to identify our what? Identity. So what is username? What is the password? So this, right? So guys, status code belongs to what? Unauthorized 401, right? 401. Because this API is not normal API, guys. It is secured API. What? This API is, guys, secured API. Who is securing, guys? Who is securing this API? As a programmer or Spring security dependency providing by this security logic, guy. Due to that, guy, Spring security dependency securing, right, is coming our project, correct? Due to what? Spring security dependency, correct? So this is power of Spring Boot, guys. This is called auto configuration, right? This is called auto configuration. So Spring Boot is providing additional feature for our application, guys, right? So you can imagine without Spring Boot how people will develop application in industry when this providing these many features, right? So guys, that's why, guys, Spring Boot is mandatory for every Java developer. If you know Spring Boot, that means lots of things becomes very easy, right, guys? See, that is understanding, right? It's not normal API. It is not normal API. It is secured API. That's why it's giving what? Food not error, right? So it is authenticated. So guys, how we can get our response? So for that purpose, guy, we have one tab is there, right? What tab is there, guy? That is the authorization, right? Authorization are there, right? So click authorization. So no auth is there. You just keep here basic auth and username and password, guys. This thing you know, right? So what is the by default username? User, right? User. What is the by default? Well, not by default. Yeah, it's by default only. But while running the application, we have what? One password, right? This password need to give in that place, right? Then, guys, we can send the request. So see, after hitting the request, our response is coming as per expected or not. See, guys. So what our response? Response is what? Welcome to you in Java Mind. Coming or not? Status, guy, 200. Correct? Status 200. So guys, when we checking through browser, right? Right? When we checking through what? Browser, our response coming as login page, correct? But when checking through Postman, guys, it is not showing login page, right? It is not showing login page. So what to do? Right? So that is the, guy, our observation, right? So if you are going to, if you are not able to see what? Login page, that means what? We are going to configure authorization by this authorization tab. In authorization tab, your options are there. Which type of authorization? So basic authorization, what is username, what is your password. If you are going to provide all these things, only you could able to see the response, right, guys? So now I am able to see what? Our REST API response, what we have implemented, right, guys? So guys, this is default behavior, guys. This is default behavior of Spring Boot, correct? Username is user and password is what, guys? Password is console password. After running the application, what we got the password, that password we need to keep here, correct? Then it will give our proper response, right, guys? So guys, if you want to our customized login, as of now, what we have done, so as per our default what behavior of a Spring Boot user as a user and password as console password. But if you want, right, customize login, what will be the username, what will password, so that thing how we are going to configure. So now let's do that. Okay, so we don't want to depend on the default behavior, guys. We don't want to what? We don't want to depend on the default behavior. That what we need to do, guys. So for that purpose, okay, what we need to do, guys. So for that purpose, in properties file, guys, first we need to go in properties file. See, guys, this is our properties file where we need to configure our customized what? Customized behavior, customized credential, right? So guys, for that purpose, you just concentrate, guys. What I'm going to write here is very, very important. How we are going to customize as per our requirement. See, if you want to give your username, your password as per your username, password, you can able to access your REST API. So for that purpose, in properties file, we need to configure the things. See, so spring dot security, spring dot security dot user dot name. See, that thing you need to give. So as per your requirement, as per, it's up to you what you are keeping your username. Suppose I am keeping username is a Java Mind. What? Java Mind. I am keeping what? My username. So guys, same thing you need to do your configure your password as well, right? So spring dot security, right, dot user dot password. See guys, coming or not? Yes. So you are going to give the password. So as per your requirement, or it's up to you how you're going to keep your password. Suppose I'm keeping the password as a Java Mind at the rate of what? 111. I'm giving what? Java Mind at the rate of 111. So I have configured, guys, our customized username and password, right? What I have configured as per our customization, right? So guys, after doing this, so can I run application? Can I run our application? See, so now I am running my application. Correct, guys? And also guys, see one thing here. So guys, see what happening here, right? Suppose if you want to customize security logic, right, credential, we can configure in properties file. What we have done, right? So boot will understood this is your login credential, right? What? Boot will understood this is your what? Login credential. So guys, are we doing any coding for this? Tell me, are we doing any coding for this? No, not at all. Only we are doing configuration. So boot is performing operation. It is power of Spring security, guys. It is power of Spring security. Internal what things is going on, we are not take care, right? Only we are going to provide the what? Configuration. Correct? So guys, Spring security is easy to what? Easy? Yes or no? Spring Boot is easy or difficult, guys? It's dead easy, guys. It's dead easy. Not we can say easy. It's dead easy, guys. So guys, this feature add in your profile. Adding one dependency describe Spring security, guys. If you are going to add your this Spring security, you know, in your what resume, it will help a lot. Why? Because then so many things are there in Spring security, guys. Only if you add once what dependency, it will perform lots of operations, right? Lots of things. Yes or no, guys? So guys, Spring security is just like what? If you are driver, if you know driving, guys, if you know driving, it's enough. To drive the car, no need to know internal function. Suppose if you are driver, if you know while driving the car, it's sufficient, it's enough, right? No need to know what about the internal function, how car is internally going to perform lots of operations, right? Only you are going to push the key and it's started, right? So that is abstraction, guys. That is completely abstraction. So explain security also what? Working in same fashion, guys. In same fashion, explain security also working. Only need to do configuration. Only you are going to do the configuration. Operations are abstract. Operations are completely abstract. So we need give thanks to security teams, guys. So we need to give thanks to security teams because that much of functionalities are available in one jar file, guys. We have added only one jar file, guys, and they have given lots of what? Flexibility, right? So in one jar, lots of things are there, guys. If you add that jar file, security are showing its what? Behavior like that. What we can see. So we can say, sir. So guys, what we can say? It is plug and play. What explain security is? Plug and play options. Just we are going to plugging jar file and playing security, right? Only we are going to plug in the jar file in dependency in pom.xml and what? We are going to see the responses, right? So guys, let me first run the application. We'll see after adding the configuration how it's behave. How it's behave, guys. See, Spring started now, right? Started. See guys, what it's showing? Already running in edge input. So guys, first you know what you need to do. You need to what? Destroy that. Now again need to run the application. See guys, just tell me one thing here. You could see any password generating here? Guys, tell me. You could see any password generating? No guys, not at all. Why? Because we have explicitly configured the username and password in the properties file. Yes or no? We are explicitly given the username and password in where? Properties file. That's why Spring Boot is not generating any password, right? Spring Security is, sorry, not Spring Boot, Spring Security is not going to create any password, not generating any password. So guys, so what we have given the configuration in the property file with that username password we can check, right? So for that purpose, guys, we come here, right? We can come here and we'll see here, suppose http see guys, that was our what? http localhost 88 welcome, right? So see what is coming, guys. It is giving what? Login page. Obviously it should be, right? Because we had given the security dependency. That's where it's asking what is your username, what is your password. Guys, see, last time we have given what? First I will give some wrong password. Intentionally I am giving some wrong password. We can see, is it able to what? Authenticate or not. Suppose I am giving user as a what? Login ID and user at the rate of 123 is a password. Is it opening or not? See guys, it's showing what? Bad credential. Intentionally I have given wrong credential. It's not able to authenticate. It is not able to authenticate to enter into our application. Right guys? Authentication, guys. Again one more time I am explaining. Authentication is what? It is identifying. It is identifying or verifying our user credential. Identifying user credential. See, so if you are giving correct credential, then it will allow to enter into the application, right? It's allowed to you enter into the application. Correct? If you are given what? Correct username password. So correct username is what? Java mine. Java mine is our username. What? Already I have configured into the properties file, right? Application.properties file, Java mine. And what was the password? Password was Java mine @111, right? This was our password. So now click sign in button. See guys, our response is coming or not? Our response is coming or not? See guys, response coming or not? While I am giving correct credential, what we have configured into application.properties file. So it's able to access or not? It is able to access or not? Correct guys? So what we understood? So if you want to customize username password, that thing you need to configure into properties file. And also this is not a company standard guys. It's not an industry standard. See, if you want to change multiple times, right? So username and password you need to change, right? This is not what industry standard or project standard. What is the project standard guys? So you need to keep this username password in your what? Database. You need to keep. You are going to customize only. You are going to configuration customize only. But thing is that you need to keep this username password into database. So in coming video guys, once I will bring this video, in coming video I will show. As of now, what I have shown, two things I have shown you. So first is what? Default behavior by the Spring Boot. Default behavior means they have given username as a user and password also they are going to provide after running the application onto console, right? On the console they are going to provide password and username is user. That is default behavior of the Spring security. But if you want to customize your username and password, that means you need to configuration this thing in your properties file and you could what? Access your application. Correct guys? As a programmer guys, do you need to know what is happening internally or not? We need to know what is happening internally guys. As a programmer, because we are a programmer, right? So we need to know what is happening internally. How the components is executing internally. What components are executing internally. Why we need to understand internal? Because customize our requirement. We need to understand those components guys. We need to understand of internals of it to understand how it will customize. I want to customize to security guys of my application. Do you go with default functionalities of security guys? If you are going to implement your project, tell me guys, do you go with default functionality of security or you want to customize functionality as per your requirement? Now I have shown, right? You are adding one dependency how our REST API is secured. I have shown you how to customize the credential. Is it sufficient for our project? No at all, because it's not a good practice. It's not a industry standard. It's not a project specific standard, right? It is completely based on our project requirement guys. In order to customize what? In order to customize the security as our project requirement, we need to understand how security is working in background. How security working in background. That thing is a main important thing guys. If you want to become what? Expert on the what? Spring security, that means you should know internal flow of Spring Boot security. If you know what? Internal flow of Spring Boot security, then only become what? Expert on the Spring security guys. So how many components are available for security guys? Now the process is happening. How the process is happening guys? In the background. Once you understood the background process, then you can play with Spring security what? Very confidently. Anybody asks any question, you can reply very confident way. because you know the internal of a Spring security flow, right? So now we can understood background process of security with what our slide example. In slide already I have what mentioned what I mentioned what guys. See guys, I mentioned a Spring security execution flow guys. So guys, please concentrate. What I am going to explain now, it's very important. See guys, so I am numbering right 1 to 10. So step by step I will explain how the things is going on. Okay? See guys, first, if you are going to enter your credential, first point. See, first point is there, right? So this point. So if you are going to give your credential, username and password, after giving the word username and password, what request will went? It will went to the authentication filter, where it will reach our request will reach into where authentication filter. In first, we are going to give the credential. What is your username? What is your password? After send button, it will go where authentication filter, right? So guys, in the Spring security, right, there is one concept is called what? They call it authentication filter, right? One concept is that authentication filter. So what it does? So it does, right? So what it does? It will authenticate first. See, point number 2. See, it will authentication. Authentication already I mentioned you. Authentication and authorization. Once the request will reach to the authentication filter, it will check. It will identify. It is verifying. Right? It is verifying. So whatever username and password is coming, is it correct or not? Is it correct or not? Correct? So then what authentication will do? So it just send to the what? Authentication manager. So what they got the response, right? It is correct or wrong. What? It will send to the what? Authentication manager. Yes or no guys? So second point was authentication guys. With the help of authentication filter, authentication will be happen. With the authentication filter, authentication will be happen. Right? Just keep in mind. With the authentication filter, authentication will be performed. What is authentication? Authentication does what? Checking the credential is valid or not. Identity of the user. Authentication is going to check identity of the user. Correct? So what? Once the response is coming to the authentication manager, so what authentication manager will do? So authentication manager to perform the what? Authentication manager what? To perform the authentication, and it will just send to the authentication provider. Correct? To perform the authentication, authorization manager is there. To perform the authentication, authentication manager is there. Correct? One, it will reach to the authentication manager, right? So it will send to the authentication provider. So number 4. So authentication provider, what it will do? So authentication provider is responsible to provide credential. Authentication provider is responsible what? To provide the credential. So credential belongs to user detail service. Okay. And with password encoder or decoder. What? Password encoder or decoder. Once it will get the what? Response, then it will back to the what? Authentication manager. What? You just send back to the authentication manager. Good. Once the authentication manager will get the response, is just sent to the what? Authentication filter. Okay, whatever the authentication filter get response from the authentication manager is stored into the what? Security context. It is stored into the security context. Means in security context, what the response will be stored? So user is valid or not. What is the username? What is the password? Right? Then it is sent back to the respective what? End user. Okay. So guys, this is the internal flow of the what? Spring security internally. Again, one more time, I am repeating. Just concentrate. So first, if any end user is going to provide username and password, first it will reach to the authentication filter. Authentication filter, guys, it will help the, what? Will help the authentication filter what? How authentication will be happening, right? And you should know, right, guys? So what is authentication filter? So in Spring security, guys, there is one concept called the authentication filter. Correct? So once the request reaches to the authentication filter, right? Authentication filter. So it will send to the what? Authentication. It will checking the credential is valid or not. Identity of the user. Once it will authenticate, it will send to the authentication manager. What? Authentication manager. To perform the authentication manager is there. What? To perform the authentication manager is there. So once the credential verified by the authentication manager, it will send to the authentication provider. So authentication provider, what it does? It is so authentication provider will responsible to provide the credential. Okay, to what? The user detail service and the password encoder. These two things, right? So we are going to check with the user detail service what is your name, what is the password, right? Then it send the response to the authentication what? Manager. So authentication manager will get to know what is the valid credential, it is an invalid credential. Then same thing, it's redirect to the authentication filter. Once authentication filter will get a response from the authentication manager, it will store into the security context. And after storing the response into security context, is directly redirect to the user, your valid user or your invalid user. So guys, these many components are working internally to provide the security. Okay, I hope you understood. See guys, in the point number 5th or 6th, see that time we have different types of what authentication are there. We are going to authentication with in-memory database, with database, right? That type of things will be what? Notified in that stage, guys. Okay. So that is the guy internal flow, and I will explain in this also. I have already mentioned all things. What the authentication filter, authentication manager, authentication provider. See, authentication filter, a filter that intercept and perform the authentication. A particular request, what you are going to send the username password, it will what? Authenticate by delegating into the authentication manager. If authentication is successful, the authentication details set into the security context. What I mentioned here, right? And authentication, we no need to explain this thing. Lots of time I have explained all authentication, right? So it is identify the user credential. And third is get authentication manager. Once receive the request from the filter, it delegates the validating of the user details to the authentication provider. So authentication provider, what it does? It has all the logic of validating user details using what? User detail service or password encoder. Okay. And what? Remaining two topics are there. So user detail service. So user detail service, what? Retrieve user details and implement the user interface using by supplied username and password. Okay. And last guy, password encoder is an interface which is used to encode the password, guys. It's used to encode the password. So guys, that is the internal flow what? Of our what? Spring security. Correct? So guys, Next remaining thing is what? How to customize the user credential by using user details service. User details, right? So how to use the details from the DB. As of now, we are configured in the property file as our username and password. But how to use the details from the DB and what is JWT, that concept is understand is coming video, right? So JWT OAuth I didn't explain as of now, and also what one thing I didn't explain as of now. So how to use the details from the DB, right? These two things are remaining. So how to use the credential from DB? If my data is in DB, right? If my data is in DB, then how can we use that to perform the authentication and how to perform authorization, right? These things are remaining. So in coming video I will explain, right? So how we are going to configure, how we are going to write the code if our what credential username password is available in DB. So guys, that's it in Spring security as of now. So with the help of our what code explanation, might be you hope, right? I hope you understood clearly, right? So without security and with security, how we are going to implement our REST API, right? If you are going to use Spring security, that means your application becomes more secure. No one can access as per your credential, only those people can access, right guys? So that's it guys as of now. So what I have discussed till now, so all the things is very important. So please be concentrate and watch the video very effectively. So it will helpful for you. Even you are going to give an interview or also in your implementation, while if you are going to implement Spring security in your project, in the both way this will very helpful for you guys. So guys, please, if you like the video, please click the like button and subscribe button if you are first time you're watching my video, and share among your friend as well. So because it will what motivate lot for me, right? Thank you guys. Bye bye. Meet in next video.